where you're from, where you live now, and what's your profession?
My name is Brenton Priestly. I am a professional wakeboarder out of Melbourne, southeastern suburbs, Australia. I currently live in Orlando, Florida, and have done now for the last 14 years. I actually got into wakeboarding starting out, obviously, as everyone did, like water skiing and kneeboarding and those things, and been a little grommy. I had an older brother that wakeboarded, and I obviously followed some of his footsteps, and we actually started in a little place called Eildon. We had like a little caravan, which is a trailer in US terms, and that was like our little destination for a holiday that we went to every Easter, Christmas, and any weekend we could. And that was like my stomping grounds, where I used to be 7 years old and have family friends like put me on my feet and hold me on the water to get me started. So yeah, everything started there and grew from that. Yeah, and here I am now. It was quite wild. Coming to Orlando for the first time was pretty intimidating. Like, my brother and I had a bit of a name in Australia, and I'd already have covers with Wake magazine and Boarder magazine, with two Australian magazines in Australia, and basically thought I was something or someone. And then what happened was, coming to the US was just like a big rude awakening that I was a rookie and no one again. So it basically just felt like I had to build a whole career based off a better career, but also, you know, just starting from scratch. And it was definitely tough, but it was, you know, coming here was the best choice I made, for sure. I mean, I was fortunate enough to live with like Brett Eisenhower, and I lived with Ike the year before I actually came over here in 2008. You know, I grew up with Daniel and the whole Watkins family, like Dean Smith and Scotty Broom. They're all my brother's age, so I kind of fitted in with that older age group in the wake scene. So I was, yeah, very fortunate to have those guys already over here and show me the ropes and have a house for me to live at, have boats, boat sponsors at the time. So, and at that point of time, everything was boat riding. So, you know, it was like pretty easy to come over here and ride every day. And, you know, back then it was cheap gas and 3 sets a day. So, yeah, it was pretty easy and crazy. It's quite funny you say that, because yeah, for sure. I had Ike and I had Daniel pass down some guidance and things. I come from a trade in Australia, which is quite common, and Daniel and Ike had done the same thing. So the path that they took was something that I chose to do that was similar. These days, I don't really have the opportunity. I think I've spent so much time in the US. A lot of the time I meet the new Australians, new school kids here in Florida before I even meet them in Australia. I mean, you know, I know Sam Brown since he was like 7 years old, and, you know, Grommies that are coming up now and ripping. But yeah, I would say though, those older guys definitely helped me out big time, you know, put me in the right direction and definitely kept me on path, that's for sure. I mean, the most part of advice to most Australians is that we actually enjoy to party quite a lot. So it's always more so maybe, you know, take it easy and enjoy the ride, because it's not here forever. And yeah, just, you know, especially too, obviously I got friends that somewhat seem Australian, like Marcy, where a lot of those kids get in their head and they're on that pro level now. And, you know, most of my guidance is just like, hey man, stop, breathe, and stop overthinking it. You know, you rip every day on the week behind the boat, and you rip in the cable, and you do that on a daily basis. So when it comes to events, just like take a breath and do your thing. That was huge for me. I feel like if I didn't go out and party downtown Orlando on Wall Street when I first got here, I would have never met any magazine editors or any full status pro riders at the time. And it was like the full connection point. So like nowadays everything's based around social media. I feel like back then everything was based around like all going out and having a good time together and introducing and meeting and socializing was key. And if you did it on a level downtown on Wall Street, I feel like that got you kind of connected in with everybody. I mean, being a part of Double or Nothing is probably one of, or if not the biggest boat event for sure for the year. The fact that it went away for as long as it did is a bit of a joke, but I mean, things happen. Things need to go away to come back stronger. I think it's on the right path, and I think Parks has had this idea for what, 20 plus years now, something stupid, and it's still like the statement of boat riding, I personally think. So the end of the day, yeah, being a part of Double or Nothing, as much as I would have liked to ride this year, I couldn't, but yeah, it's definitely something that's pretty rad to be a part of, judge or not.
Kind of quantify.
The one thing about judging Double or Nothing is we talked to Parks obviously beforehand, and for Parks, it's not about, like, obviously this is a best trick contest, but at the same time, we're looking for how do they connect double ups, which roll they hit, how they grab, how big they go, of course, and how they land. It's so much factors that go into like the perfect trick. It doesn't technically have to be the biggest, craziest trick, because that biggest, craziest trick can be boggled. And then we can go into like simpler tricks that could be sent to the moon, landed perfectly and grabbed perfectly. And that's basically, you know, what the statement of double or nothing is. It's not the best, newest trick, it's the best trick overall. So.
Perfect, that's perfect. One more.
I think the reason Marcy won, and we watched this video like probably 20 times or more back to back, it really just came down to, you know, the way he landed was bold, how big he really did go. There was more than, you know, a few other people's decision above us that came to play of questions we asked. So at the end of the day, Marcy's trick was just like exactly what double or nothing wants. Something to the moon, something grabbed, something unique, and something landed bolts. And Marcy covered all areas. I mean, Ty's trick was insane, but there was a slight boggle on things, and there was things that we reviewed and over again, watched his footage, and we made the right decision. And come at us if you don't think we did.
Killed it. Perfect, dude.